Greetings, fellow members. As President of the Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada, I am very pleased to introduce our new Learning and Information webcast modules. These webcast modules will become part of our Communication and Education Toolkit. They are modern, economical, and their content has been developed in direct response to what you have told us are your main concerns and wishes. This method of communication is increasingly popular, easily transferable to a wider audience via social networking software such as Facebook, and it brings the human dimension to our message. Better still, you may access and share them at your leisure and at a time that best suits your schedule. Over the coming days and months, we will be adding more of these on-demand webcast modules, where we will address many different topics of concern to you. We hope that you will enjoy these webcasts. And if you have suggestions or comments on any webcast content, or if you have ideas for other webcast topics, please do not hesitate to let us know.
Hello, I'm David Gray, Vice President of the Professional Institute. For some time, we've heard the leadership of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, an organization that claims to represent the interests of over 100,000 small business owners across the country, attack the public service and demonize the reputation of millions of Canadian public sector workers, including the professionals represented by the Institute. The CFIB, and in particular its president, Catherine Swift, consistently depict public sector as a waste of taxpayers' money. Public service employees are portrayed as overpaid and lazy, and interested only in collecting what she calls gold-plated pensions. Not surprisingly, Ms. Swift has found a ready audience in some circles where anti-union rhetoric is always welcome in the name of business profits. Unfortunately, many federal and provincial politicians have climbed aboard the CFIB bandwagon, some because they honestly agree with its positions, others because they realize that they could easily pick up a few extra votes at election time by standing on a soapbox and pointing fingers at public service employees. Well, it's time to set the record straight, once and for all. I'm here today to tell you about a new PIPS awareness campaign and how you, as a member of Canada's professional public service, can help turn the tide in this war against the public good. Let's start with the facts. First, despite what has been widely reported in the media, public service workers do not receive a gold-plated pension plan. The average public service worker's pension is currently in the $35,000 range. That's hardly a scandalous figure. We also contribute on average considerably more to our pensions than our counterparts in the private sector. Meanwhile, they enjoy variable pay, lump sum bonuses, stock options, and generally higher salaries that are simply not available to our members. Our pensions are part of our compensation. We gave up wage increases for a good pension. Second, there is no deficit in the public service pension plan that will drive Canada into the proverbial hole if something isn't done. The CFIB's constant statements to the contrary are just plain wrong. To get at the figures that it claims to prove its point, the CFIB uses a widely discredited accounting method. If we look at a reliable analysis by no less than the Chief Actuary of Canada, the plan is in good health, and it will remain so. Third, Ms. Swift's demands that our defined benefit pension plan be scrapped in favor of a risky defined contribution plan are nothing less than fear-mongering on her part. The real objective behind it is to bring pensions down to the lowest common denominator in order for the business community to rid itself of the burden of providing decent retirement plans and pensions for its employees. Of course, the CFIB's friends in the financial services industry would love to sell millions of their iffy retirement plans to Canadians. These plans produce big profits for the financial sector, but little return for pensioners. Not surprisingly, Catherine Swift doesn't like talking about that. Instead of portraying us as a group of privileged underachievers living off the toil of Canadian taxpayers, Ms. Swift should focus on the obvious, which is millions of public sector workers represent a huge customer base. Our spending power pumps billions of dollars each year into the economy and into her members' cash registers. Talking to the CFIB leaders is like talking to a wall. And now that the Conservatives have won a majority of the seats in the House of Commons, we can expect that the CFIB's anti-union agenda will find a very sympathetic audience here in Ottawa. We have seen this in the rapid back-to-work legislation for Air Canada and the Post Office. Well, we've had enough, and it's time to take the bull by the horns and to fight fire with fire. The Institute is rolling out an awareness-raising campaign aimed directly at the CFIB members. We have tried to talk to the leadership and to give them a balanced perspective about public servants, but they're not listening. So we're going to take our message straight to the country's small business operators. We will remind them of the critical importance we play in the economy as a whole and to small businesses in particular. We want to find out why the people who claim to represent them are acting as if our money is not welcome in their stores. I want to make it clear, though, our campaign is not in any way aimed at specific business owners, retailers, or industries. We in the public sector have always supported Canada's small businesses. After all, they are owned and operated by our friends, our families, and our neighbors. We are not interested in driving anybody out of business. What we are interested in, however, is getting our message to the people that Ms. Swift claims to represent, even though she is obviously acting against their best interests. We'll let grassroots CFIB members decide if our money should be spent at their businesses. As you can see behind me, we have developed a slogan. Prosperity, it's mutually beneficial. Public sector employees in support of independent business, and a visual identity for this campaign. We are asking you, our members, to get involved in your respective communities. So we have also created materials and provided additional information that you can download from a secure PIPS website and print for your own use. Remember that your local steward is ready to help you get the word out in your area. As an organization, PIPS will also be partnering with other groups who are concerned by the CFIB's less is best message and its unhealthy power over the Canadian government. But I'd like to emphasize how critical it is for each and every PIPS member to get involved in this campaign. We all have our part to do to remind local business owners that no matter what they have been told by the CFIB leadership, we are not their enemy. We are actually their customers, family, and friends. I look forward to your feedback on the campaign and to your comments and suggestions. Thank you.